All right, I think we're live. We're good to go.
All
Uh,
right.
let's get this cooking. The Boys, episode four, season four, episode four, reaction, breakdown. I think the episode, I forget what the episode is even titled. Do you remember what the episode is titled, Damon?
We had it put up on the. Is it the? It's like the knowledge of ages or something like that. Uh the wisdom of the ages.
Wisdom of the Ages. All right, so episode four, Wisdom of the Ages. I'm Chenny Britt. I'm joined by my boy Damon. We're the Winter Hill
Right.
Warriors. We're going to get this thing cooking. Quick promo before. Oh, shit. Do I even have this? Oh, wait. I have the wrong screen. Give me a second. um, Let me adjust this main screen. Good thing we got no one watching right now, so that's always good.
It,
Let's see. Actually, what do you see on your screen, Damon?
I'm seeing the Windows Premiere.
Oh man, I gotta get out of that. How do I get out of that? Let me change this. Properties. All right, word. You see this now? Now we're good, I think.
Yeah, let me just reload.
Yeah,
I
let me
think we
just
should be
reload.
solid. Be
All
solid.
right, cool, sweet. All right, yeah. So we're gonna break it down. We did a marathon stream last time. Also, if you're having issues, just message, just put something in the chat. I'll be reading that. But in the meantime, I think we're good. So we had to do a fucking massive stream for the first three episodes, so we probably weren't as thorough as we needed to be. So today we have more time just to cover one episode. So we're just gonna get going. Quick promo. I also make music on the side. I don't have the graphic right now, but just go to the link in the description. Chenny Britt. That's that. My shit's all on Spotify. So if you're interested, check that out. Before we get into this episode, any thoughts on this episode first, Damon?
We got our signature Homelander episode, which I think a lot of people have been waiting to answer some of these questions, like as to what his origin is, like what's going down with this dude, because obviously his arc is arguably the most important arc of the season, even if he is like not the protagonist. But it was got pretty grisly there. For a second.
Yeah. So let's just open up. We ended episode three with Homelander basically being like, I gotta go back to where it all started. So he pulls up to the like a Vought research lab where he was basically housed since he was a kid, and they ran a bunch of tests on him. Um, so as he pulls up, this dude who's kind of running this floor of the lab, his name is Marty. They're just like, wait, all the cameras went black. You know what the hell is going on? And then Homelander basically pulls up, and they're all obviously very terrified. He brings them some like ice cream cake or whatever, and right away he's just going on his like little like terrorist fucking he's just on that vibe where he's smiling, but you know some really bad shit's gonna happen. And but at first he feeds them cake, so all of them are really nervous. All the scientists are really nervous. Then we cut to Butcher. He's just completely losing it. It's getting worse and worse. He's showering and he's having more hallucinations about Rebecca. And then I think he ends up like tripping over himself on the shower, getting a massive gash on his face. Um, then we cut to Huey. Huey's kind of reconciled with his mom at this point. Would you say, Damon?
They're like 70% of the way there.
70% of the way there. Yeah, so that's fair. And also, are you on the live? Are you seeing like everything looks fine?
Yeah, looks like we're just going through like normal with the scenes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so on this, they find out that his dad is now like pretty much brain dead. So they can kind of euthanize him. This obviously destroys Huey inside. His mom's like, there's nothing we can really do. Um, that's tough. Then we see a just some more Vought propaganda, like just on the Vought News Network. They actually do a little Gen V reference, and they cover the campus rampage that ended episode or season one of Gen V, and it's going to be Tech Knight who's kind of producing it. And then there's some talk, like obviously Vought is pro Soup, so there's Robert Singer's proposed bill that would get Soups out of the military and out of office and stuff like that. That's obviously getting trashed by Vought. And then Starlight ends up meeting with Robert Singer, and she tells him, "Hey, look." And they're all in on needing to stop Victoria Newman, but Starlight tells Robert Singer, like, listen, that bill that you're proposing, there's no shot that shit is gonna pass at all. You need more support. I'll help you get more support. So let's just have this partnership. And Singer's like, cool. And Singer's whole marketing spend is still just very old school, right? Like they're just trying to fucking pay for ads on TV and stuff like that. It's just not gonna work. So Starlight's like, this is how you play the new game. And they agree to work together. And then we see Frenchie with Colin, and they actually talk a little bit about Colin's family. And Frenchie's like, all right, tell me about your family. Obviously, we know Frenchie murdered his entire family on the orders of that Russian chick that he was working for. And Colin basically says, like, he only survived because he hid under the bed. He heard all of his family get murdered, and the only thing he remembers was the ankles of the person who was committing the murder. His ankles were scarred, right? So I'm like, it's right here. And Frenchie's ankles are scarred. So it's only a matter of time, and this obviously destroys Frenchie. And but he doesn't tell Colin anything at this point. And then we go back to Starlight's foundation, and they look across the street, and across the street is where Vought is actually producing Firecracker show. So they're posted up right across the street. A lot that I just covered there. Thoughts on the first 10 minutes of this episode, Damon?
Clocking back to the Homelander opening, this reminds me of the Woods from Gen V, the type of lab that they're in, and like how Soups were definitely detained in this area. Like this is a testing ground. You could tell from the demeanor, from how last episode ended, this is going to get dark from the start. Him coming down in the elevator actually gave me a little similarity to The Shining. There are more similarities to The Shining in the end as well. If you keep on watching. So that was kind of Butcher's going through it. You can see the growth that he's getting. You can see the growth, the excess Gen V, or the excess Gen V that he took. It looks almost alive. My first thought when I saw it moving around in his back in the shower was like, do we have a Venom type symbiote on our hands? Are we going to have symbiote on our hands? Are we going to have something like the movie Alien? It's going to come out, but like the movie Alien, something to keep a tab on there. Definitely something pulling the plug issue on there. Huey and his dad. Pulling the plug super controversial no matter how you slice it. Super controversial no matter how you slice it. Incredibly pragmatic. If you're going to be trying to keep incredibly focused on the goal at hand, you're trying to keep you would argue focused on the goal at hand. Hey, you had your dad around for a while. I know you want to keep him around for a while. I know you want to keep him around. He is brain dead right now. Is exhausted, but he is brain dead right now. Things to accomplish. If you're on the sentimental side, it's like this is Huey. If you're on the sentimental side, it's like this is Huey's truly only connection besides Annie. If you want to count Butcher, you can count Butcher, but he's probably. If you want to count Butcher, you can count Butcher, but he's probably mean a lot to him in that regard. So it does mean a lot. The mom, we're still trying to feel it out. She's still a little. The mom, we're still trying to feel it out. Trying to feel a little sus at times. We're trying to feel out what her Starlight and Singer. Yeah, the low-key Tech Night cameo, Hydra Donuts and Bagels, Tech Night cameo, Hydra Donuts and Bagels. The Alliance checks out because it balances. The Alliance checks out because it balances Newman and Homelander with the bot side. Now that Newman and Homelander in their aims are closer together, Singer's going to need somebody to compound on as well. Singer's going to need somebody to compound on. You can see where this is going. Colin and Frenchie, you can see where this is going. Telltale heart level of guilt right now. Telltale heart level of guilt right now. The guy's like instead of trying to hide the dismembered heart, the guy's trying to hide his body. Dismembered heart. He's trying to hide his ankle. You can tell where this is going to go. The Starlight drama is going to go. Great move. The Starlight drama. Sister Sage's part to set it up in this manner because we know that Annie was shaken up from the manner because we know that Annie was shaken up from the combo with Firecracker last episode. Oil and water. So they are how you're going to find Starlight's weakness, how you're going to crack her. She's seen Starlight's weakness, how you're going to crack her. She's seen very affected. Loves to run her mouth. So Firecracker overall loves to run her mouth. So overall, well played.
Good points there. Yeah, to your point on what Sister Sage is doing, she knows that using Firecracker is going to give them the best chance at destroying Starlight's image in the public's eye. So they start cooking up that show, and they're obviously filming it right across from the Starlight Foundation. And there's this funny moment where the Deep tries to like
Yeah.
talk real sexual again to Sister Sage because he's like, hey, we just smashed, and because she's not lobotomized right now, she's just like, get the fuck away from me, and obviously hurts the deep feelings.
Dude, he's just like when she describes the plan and he just goes with a hand on his chin, like dope.
Dope. I've said that so dope. Yeah, cool. Yeah, sick. So then we get to the actual like filming of the show. It's called Truth Bomb with Firecracker, and she's talking about like, you know, all this bad shit about Starlight, and then what's it called? Brings Butcher, I think, back into the fold, and everyone's pissed because they're like, wait, we canned this guy, and MM's like, yeah, I'm bringing him back in. I'm running the show anyway, so there's not much you guys can do, but just listen to me on this. We need Butcher. So Starlight obviously doesn't like Butcher, but Butcher is now back in the mix, and he kind of just has to take orders. And Butcher kind of calls Starlight out. He's like, why does Firecracker hate you so much? And Starlight obviously knows, but she doesn't want to say it right now. So she's just like, I don't. And then Butcher calls bullshit on that right away. But they have a bit of a plan. So basically, what like Butcher's got some blackmail plan that he wants to launch on Firecracker. But before we get to that, this is the first of Homelander's torture victims. It's this dude named Frank. So we cut back to the Vought facility where Homelander had been, you know, raised basically his entire life. This dude named Frank used to run like fire tests on Homelander, and basically was just trying to see if he could survive like varying degrees of intense heat. So Homelander remembers this when he was a kid, and he remembers that Frank, like casually while he was doing that, was just kind of playing waste paper basketball, and this really stuck with Homelander. So he's like, Frank, let's play some waste paper basketball, and it's very terrifying, obviously. I'm about to sneeze. Jesus.
Bless you.
Thank you. So I hope another one's not coming, but yeah, so that's going down, and Frank's like nervous the entire time, and then that's when Homelander breaks it to him and is like, yeah, I learned this game from you. When you were trying to light me on fire, I saw you just, you know, nonchalantly shoot this shit in the waste basket. Even if I didn't die, it hurt a lot, and now I want you to get into the oven, which is fucking insane. So he makes Frank go in the oven because he says, if you don't get in the oven, I'm gonna kill your entire family. So Frank gets in the oven, and let me see, I gotta speed up to this. I think it happens right here. Yeah, so gets in the oven, and Homelander just turns it up and just literally burns him on fire in front of everyone, and it's a very, very disgusting scene. And then on the boy side, Huey has set up a meeting with A-Train. He's tricked him into showing up, and then he has Kimiko as protection. And A-Train's pissed that he got tricked because he's like, hey, Sister Sage is on everyone's ass, and I'm the one who gave up that info. Why the fuck are you meeting me? And Huey basically is like, I need you to get some Compound V because he's going to give it to his dad. But this entire meeting is being staked out by the Shining Light terrorist group, including that one younger woman who had some like a previous relationship or knew Kimiko. So they get ambushed, and then Kimiko and Huey have to run into this little like building for cover right now. So I'm gonna take a pause there, Damon.
Yeah, the A-Train segue at this meetup is perfect to loop it back into that check-in we had with the Seven at the start of the episode. He's getting caught at some point. I love his arc this season and how they've backed him up and turned him around into I guess he's got some dignity back. He's on a bit of a redemption tour, but Sage is on him like crazy. Like unless they find a way to use her suspicion as a trap of sorts to lure her in. He also looks like anybody who's ever been caught texting somebody they shouldn't be, or doing something on their phone they shouldn't be. When Sage kind of puts it away for a second, very suspicious. Firecrackers theme song reminded me of like a Luke Bryan matchup, Bryan Toby Keith matchup. Natty Light poured on top, very fitting. Natty Light poured on top, very fitting. Butcher back on the crew. Take a shot every time Butcher gets kicked off. Take a shot every time Butcher gets kicked off. You are going to be allowed back by the end of the team, and you are. I love this guy. I do not know how they're going to be able to keep. I love this guy. I do not know how they're going to be able to keep this going after he dies.
The whole thing, like, it's very sticky. Like, I'm not going to argue with you on that. Like, it's very sticky. Like, I'm not going to argue with you on that back into this mode. And you feel like they have more power as a crew. And you feel like they have more power as a crew when he's back. They're talking about Firecrackers Rally, and they're talking about Firecrackers Rally, and they tease a Kanye appearance that made me laugh out loud. Homelander walk down memory lane. We get a better perspective as to what his daily life was like back in the lab. We're going to make a video that actually gets into this. See a nice B-roll video kind of examining Homelander's character. We're going to be dropping that Homelander as a character. We're going to be dropping that the next couple of weeks. Not apples to apples, but this reminds me of when we figure out why Magneto hates the humans so much in X-Men, because he and his family were Holocaust victims, and he saw he and his family were Holocaust victims, and he saw what it can achieve, ugliness of humankind, and what it can achieve. Like this. So explains why he acts like this, such a psychopath. Explains why he acts like such a psychopath. Such a small memory made this kind of impact on Homelander. Made this kind of impact on Homelander as well. He's the classic guy who, he's sorry I did that, man. He'll say, "Oh no, I don't. Sorry I did that, man." He'll say, "Oh no, sticking in his head and he's pouring over it, but it's really sticking in his head and he's pouring over it again and again and trying to think about his revenge." Huey and Kimiko, he's doing it again. That thing where he just starts freestyling and it puts everybody in danger. Starts freestyling and it puts everybody in danger. His dad with Compound V, the best idea. Maybe it'll pay off for them in a positive way, but maybe it'll pay off for them in a positive way. But everybody, especially because they're not doing risky for everybody, especially because they're not doing so well right now. Yeah, that's from Adam, that one.
Yeah,
that's from Adam, that one.
Kai1 calendar. This episode was the worst episode, and then basically calling it out, I believe, on the anti-Trump stuff. Here's my take on The Boys. I never take The Boys seriously. And then I thought it was pretty clear from the get-go that The Boys is a pretty liberal coded show, right? Like Amazon's a left-wing, left-wing company. So it has been funny this season where a lot of people have been like, wait, they're making fun of the right-wing people. And it's like, I thought that was kind of clear from the get-go for the show, but they make fun of the left enough, but it definitely is going to be a biased show, but I don't take this show that seriously. I think it's
because I mean, they were not to cut you off. Sorry about that, but like even with like Stan Edgar, like people were theorizing that he was a stand-in or was like a representation of like what Obama was like during power. So it's like they've criticized multiple angles. Like they do a nice job. They do a nice job. It's more obvious this season. I would say, but it's always been around. It's always been around.
All right, let's keep going. So back to Firecracker show. And Butcher, like, so their whole fucking scheme, it's pretty simple. It's just Butcher has some intel on Firecracker, and let me see. Actually, before this, Butcher basically tells MM, like, you got to go be Ryan's dad when I die. And MM's like, dude, no. And Butcher tells him, no, you have to be his dad. You're the best dad I would know. So it's a pretty touching moment. But basically, they're trying to blackmail Firecracker. Turns out when she was 28, she had slept with a 15-year-old boy at summer camp or something like that. So then Homelander tries to say, hey, I'm tweeting this picture out if you don't work with us. And then Firecracker does the thing that it was the right move, which is just tweet it out herself and then just like put out all of her skeletons in the public. And it doesn't really matter because then she gets on stage and is like, well, that's what brought me here. That's why I'm trying to find salvation now. So it is a very strategic move that works very well. Her supporters don't really care. And then she turns it back on Starlight. And I think she talks about Starlight's first save when she was really young. She ended up accidentally blinding a mother of 3. So Firecracker's winning this war against Starlight. And then Butcher comes in with MM again. They just failed on their blackmail attempt. But Butcher managed to snag the keys to Firecracker's trailer. So he tells Frenchie, like, go in and see if you can dig anything up. And then at the same time, A-Train actually decides to take Huey up on his offer. And he does go into the Vought, or he actually goes into Homelander's fucking apartment or suite at the Vought HQ and steals a vial of Compound V. At the same time, he catches Ashley there. She's dropping a fucking turd in the bathroom. And since they've both now caught each other in Homelander's like fucking bedroom, if either one of them snitches on the other, they're both gonna die. So it's kind of just like this game theory situation where they're like, fuck it, let's work together and take Homelander down. And so they got something cooking up, which I thought was interesting. It's about time. But yeah, thoughts on what's going on so far?
Yeah, we'll just camp out at that A-Train Ashley scene for a little bit. A-Train gets a small insight into Homelander's psyche when he sees the white hairs in the jar, which could come in handy. The fact that they know he's aging, they know what angle to play at, they're gaining more info. If A-Train was to truly flip, the fact that they have a stalemate is crucial. Could actually be an ally. But does she have a lot? But does she have a lot? Or does she, sometimes they say revenge is the greatest equalizer. Revenge is the greatest equalizer when it comes to playing on what somebody is going to do for you. Do the boys even want a relationship with her? Do the boys even want a relationship with her? Something worth considering when you see how her relationship with and you can tell Seven has deteriorated. And you can tell in A-Train that she have an A-Train and the ability, and they can bring a lot to the knowledge and the ability, and they can bring a lot to the table. I'm hesitant because Ashley is so sycophantic. I'm hesitant because Ashley is pretty much coward. Homelander's women in front of him. Pretty much coward. Homelander's women in front of him. If we throw it back to the truth bomb fest, throw it back to the showing off some pipes, I thought that was kind of funny. Showing off some pipes, was around in the he just looks like around character. He just looks like would have given Sean William Scott a superhero. If they would have given Sean William Scott the Green Lantern back in the 90s, Sean William Scott the Green Lantern back in the 90s, he would have looked like the yes, that's the dude. Yes, that's the dude. Butcher talking about like delivering a heroin delivering a heroin enema of somebody going to get for try to get the results. You can question the man's methods, but the results. You can question the man's methods, but the results. The moment with him and MM was really heartfelt. The last time these two were in a parking lot together. The last time these two were in a parking lot together, MM was they've beaten the brakes off of Butcher. MM they've really is the most mature. Really is the most mature within well-rounded guy to like within to play at this boys because he's worked on himself because he's worked on himself. Butcher needs it. He'll come through for Butcher when Butcher needs it. Gets got Starlight the firecracker turn. Gets got fire to get back into the political spectrum for a moment. To get back into the political spectrum for a moment. I thought Firecracker uses the Firecracker the Bill Clinton playbook minus the underage aspect, but it had shades of the underage aspect, but it had shades of like the Monica Lewinsky speech. So I thought that was quite interesting how they responded to her. And remember how they responded to her. And remember Firecracker's the dude running is Firecracker's former sermons at this group leader and former. So there's a whole different Starlight revenge aspect to what they've Starlight here. They pretty much brought to what they've Starlight's all-star haters to the game right now. Starlight's all-star haters to the game right now.
Yeah. Good points there. You know what's funny is honestly, like, I get that people who are on the right are upset at this season, but the season is portraying kind of what's happening accurately right now, which is I would say that the right is probably winning more public opinion than not. Like if you look at the polls, right?
Well, and then you look at Singer, like Starlight's comments about out of touch advertising, and doesn't that scream like an aging president like Biden, like Biden out of touch, like a little out of touch. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There are some honest parallels. There are some honest parallels. Because not everything is one to one, but not everything is one to one, but you know,
left bias. But I think so far on this, I mean, it is illustrated that the left I would say the left has been slower to truly understand social media and how to use it than the right. I think I'm saying this like I'm on the left, bro. I think the right is washing the left when it comes to understanding like how to advertise in the new age and how to play the social media game. You know what I mean? Like I don't even think it's close.
Looking in like the insidious way of like convincing people of like your platform and gathering masses of populism and funneling it in a certain way. Since COVID, there's been like a very strong prey on negative opinions and negative funneling everyone's anger together. Is it always honest? You know, is it always honest? You know, I'm not going to get super political. You can see it. You can see some of the carryover. You can see it. You can see some of the carryover.
All right, so let's keep going. All right, we're back into these scenes. Made me so fucking uncomfortable. The ones at Homelander at the Vought research facility. Like Jesus Christ, man. Anthony Starr, dude. I just gotta say, he's so fucking good. I first heard of him from Banshee, and he plays such a like a anti-hero, like good guy though in Banshee, who just sacrifices himself for everyone, and then to see him blow up playing this psychopath is pretty crazy. Uh, if you guys haven't watched Banshee yet, definitely go watch Banshee. All right, so now Homelander has turned his attention onto Marty, who is running this floor. There's also this other woman who's pretty high up named Barbara. She's on her way. We haven't yet seen her yet. And Homelander tells Frank like, "Hey, you remember you used to call me Squirt back in the day?" And basically the genesis of that is that Homelander was being watched all the time when he was slept in that room, and then there were cameras there, and Homelander was a teenage boy, so obviously, like, you know how it is when you're a teenage boy, you're getting like fucking 20 erections a day. So Homelander would wait till Marty was doing his rounds and he wasn't watching him on camera. It's not like Marty's a pedophile. He was just he had to observe everything Homelander did. So when Marty was doing his rounds, that's when Homelander would kind of go and find some time to just rub one out. And then I think Marty ended up making jokes about it because he did catch him one time and called him Squirt. And that really, really bothered Homelander, and it kind of like apparently traumatized him as a kid. So then he turns it back on Marty in one of the most gruesome things ever, I would say. I tried to put myself in that position, Damon. I really did. I was like, could I get hard if I was in that position? And I just don't know. I don't know if I would be able to do it. I don't think I would. But Homelander basically is like, well, now you gotta fucking jerk off in front of all of us. So he makes let me try to get to this. He makes Marty like whip out his cock in front of everyone, and he's like, "Go ahead, jerk off right now. If you don't jerk off and ejaculate, then I'm gonna laser your dick and balls off." Very, very terrifying. So Marty's obviously so scared. When you're scared as a man, anyone knows like your penis retracts. It just simply retracts like a turtle. Or when you're playing sports, and and Homelander's just watching this, and Marty tries to spit on his hand to try to get it going, which is so fucked up, man. And then doesn't work. Marty's like, I can't do it, and then Homelander just lasers right through his dick and balls. Marty's bleeding everywhere, and then I think that's right when Barb pulls up, and she's scared of Homelander, but she's like more. Let me see, where is she at? Yeah, she's scared of Homelander, but at the same time, she understands his weaknesses way more. So she has a Stan Edgar-like attitude towards Homelander. She doesn't command the room as much, but she can see through more of his bullshit. And so she's just like, all right, kill Marty, put him out of his misery because he's suffering right now. He's bleeding all over the place. Homelander squashes him, and then Barb is like, okay, let's talk. And then we quickly cut to fucking Kimiko and Huey. They're battling the terrorist cell. Huey's plot armor continues to keep him alive. Kimiko has a chance to, I think, kill this younger terrorist who blames Kimiko. Maybe when Kimiko worked for the terrorist organization, she probably like captured her or something under orders. So Kimiko kind of lets her run off, and then Huey and Kimiko are able to escape. Let's just take let's take a break here.
Homelander, every time we get a flashback or every time we get a scene cut to where he's up to in the lab, he is degrading. He is getting beyond demented and sadistic. It's clear why he made this trip. Last episode we were theorizing at the end, why might he do this? What is he really trying to figure out? He is severing connection from the beginning to now, based on who has done him wrong. Based on who has done him wrong. He is separating himself, and he is separating himself. He is declaring them as like they are not me. They are not like them. They are not my own. I am not like them. And I'm going to make every other soup who's like on my side. Make every other soup who's like on my side. I believe that as well. That's going to be the Huey shows out in the fight scene. Huey shows out in the fight scene. I did not. He's definitely shown some chops. He's come a long way from that. He's definitely shown some chops. He's come a long way from that immature green young boy from season 1. Green young boy. Did you know that he's dating season 1? Newman. Did you know that he's dating Newman in real life?
Message from someone saying that our mics are doubled right now. Talk again, David, and see if it goes away.
All right. Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah, just keep it rolling. We'll figure it out next time. Sorry about that.
All right. Yeah, that's all right, guys. Did you know that Huey and Newman are dating in real life?
Yeah, that's like not surprising to me. Newman's hot as hell.
All right. Kimiko definitely had some mistakes from her past too. I didn't know she was in the role of kidnapper for the Shining Light Army, but I think that the girl, I think her name is Tala or Taylor, was more standoffish towards Kimiko last time. So maybe she'll be warming up the joint forces with the boys. They need all the help they can get. And then we'll pull up right before the Frenchie one. We'll pull up right before the Frenchie one about that. We can talk more about that.
All right, let's see. So let's just keep it going. So then I think at this point, Frenchie, so here's when basically they drop the Starlight abortion news, right? So she says that like Firecracker's like, hey, I got more intel on Starlight, and 6 months ago she had an abortion. Now that means like obviously Huey got her pregnant, and then Starlight's like, what the fuck, my medical records are out there. And she was raised a Christian. So Starlight's mom is obviously going to be very, very upset at that. And it just kind of blows up Starlight's life. It blows up her private life. And then this kind of just is the straw that breaks the camel's back, because she just loses it. And so she heads over to go beat the fuck out of Firecracker. And then at the same time, when Frenchie is kind of like in Starlight's trailer, he gets caught by Ezekiel. And so Ezekiel starts like beating the shit out of Frenchie because he's a fucking soup. And I think this is when Butcher comes in, right? So Butcher comes in. So there's two beatdowns going on. It's first Ezekiel kind of manhandling Frenchie and Butcher. And then there's Starlight just beating the shit out of Firecracker, because Firecracker is simply no match for her. But appreciate it. Beats with Kev says no worries, great show. Yeah, we will figure out all the audio stuff. It's we're still rookie streamers right now, but yeah, I it pisses me off. But we'll figure it out. OBS is fucking complicated as hell, or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just fucking. I need to stop getting high. But so Butcher, like this scene was kind of crazy, Damon, because Butcher's like getting strangled by Ezekiel because he can basically just stretch, right? So he could be as big as he wants. So he's basically squeezing Butcher's like the life out of his eyes, and then he kind of just blacks out. And then when he wakes up, Ezekiel's just blown to bits. So that was obviously him. It might hit at some sort of like Butcher, revival where the powers like you had said, the symbiote type of thing. We know they want to milk this to a season 5. You know what I mean? They want to milk this to a season 5. Because you got Gen V still. So Gen V still got to fucking have some sort of play. So yeah, that happens. And then obviously Starlight has just now made herself look really bad by beating the shit out of Firecracker. And MM is the one that pulls her off. So I'm actually going to take a quick break there before we get into like the final scenes.
Yeah. To the Frenchie scene. Frenchie has a remarkably low batting average in terms of successful missions right now this season. But the knowledge, when she pulls open her bedazzled gun case and pulls out the prescription, that knowledge might actually be important. So I did some Googling, and it may or may not be true. It may or may not be part of the drug name. Only got part of the drug name. I believe this is a drug used to treat stomach and esophagus problems. So maybe Firecracker has a reflux disease. This could be a possible weakness down the road. This could be a possible weakness down the road. They could exploit. We'll see what goes down with it. Starlight went too hard on Firecracker. This is exactly what Sage wanted her to do. This was the goal, was to humble Starlight, bring her down from this holier-than-thou persona from the public eye, and distance her from being able to work with Singer, basically souring public opinion so that he would have no soup ally in his corner. Butcher nearly dying. Like, we're going to get the answers. Like you said, Shen, could be a symbiote, could be maybe him seeing Becca is a sign that there's something else that's also growing with him and protecting him in some way. We don't know enough, and they don't know enough about what that instant compound V does to you. They say it's cancer. They say it'll kill you. There could be a whole other side effect that no one's even explored yet. Other side effect if they go to 5 seasons. I don't usually like the cheapness of drawing the characters. I don't usually like the cheapness. If you're going 5 seasons, you need to have Butcher in the last season. So I'm not going to hate on this because I'm kind of down for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, I the way I view like the boys is kind of what I said earlier, which is I I think it's like commentary on things. I don't think they offer a solution because I don't know if anyone has a solution right now on how to get us to be less divided. But it's interesting commentary. It's goofy as fuck. When I first started watching it, I remember season two. There were moments where I was like, "Yo, how did they just randomly transport to this area of the country? There's no explanation." And then I realized, hey, it's the fucking boys. I need to not take it that seriously. Um, and so it's a quality show. It's enough. It's a show that like I'll still tune into, be entertained by. So if they cook up a season five, oh shit, hold on, let me see. If I cook up a season five, then then I'm not gonna complain about it necessarily. But yeah, let's just keep going. I don't know. The echo keeps coming in and out. There's definitely something I'm toggling, but just bear with us. Um, Sorry about that, guys. But all right, let's keep going. So now it's just Homelander and Barb, and she kind of fucking ethers this dude, right? She just says, "Look, you can blame us all you want, but you were like." She says that when he was born, he lasered through the surrogate mother's like fucking stomach, killing her, and then killed like a doctor and three nurses or something, or three doctors and a nurse, whichever one it is. But basically, he was so powerful that he could have broken out of this place anytime he wanted. He just didn't want to leave, and ultimately, it's because like he wants to please. And Barbara says that when he was young, they basically brought in the world's best psychologists to manipulate him and just train him to need human like affection and acceptance, right? Which just makes him a human because that's all of us, right? We all want to be liked at some point, and or by some people, and that hits Homelander hard. And he's just like, well, you know what? I'm not human, and neither is my son, and that's kind of all we see there. Then we get to Colin and Frenchie. Colin can't take it, or Frenchie can't take it anymore, so he just tells Colin the truth, and he says, "Yeah, I murdered your entire family." I'm surprised Colin didn't kill him right there. Frenchie kind of wanted Colin to kill him, and I think Colin realizes that he's not a murderer, and just falls back, and is just like, "Stay the fuck away from me," you know, that type of thing. So that relationship seems to be over, and then we get to this scene with the Deep and Sister Sage, and Sister Sage is like, "I'm sorry for kind of being mean to you earlier. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to give me a lobotomy," which is a really really nasty fucking procedure. Sister Sage says that her brain just like doesn't stop growing, so even when she lobotomizes herself, it just regenerates. But when she does that, it gives her a chance to basically catch her breath and not be so smart all the time. So at first the Deep is like, "Yo, I don't want to do that," but she's like, "I'll let you fuck me in the ass or whatever." And then he instantly is like, "All right, cool." So he gives her the lobotomy, and then she immediately becomes dumber, and she's now able to just find the Deep attractive, and they fuck. Then back at Vought, or not the Vought, back at the boys HQ, they start working through some things, and it's been a tough day for them because Starlight, one of their favorite members, has been destroyed in the public eye. And then that's where Singer calls her and is just like, "Yo, I can't really fuck with you anymore, obviously, because you like this bill's not going to pass now that your name's on it." Huey heads over to or A-Train actually pulls up and gives Huey the compound V, and Huey's like, "Cool," he's going to go try to use it on his dad, but Butcher's been watching him, and Butcher's just like, "Dude, don't be like me, don't be reckless, don't use it on your dad." And Huey kind of ignores Butcher and just keeps going. And this part was interesting. So he decides last minute to not use Compound V on his dad, but I think his mom like picks his pocket. Damon, is that what happens?
Yep. Because he puts it in his sweatshirt pocket, and then like that's the easiest pocket to pick from. And then he goes and looks at the vending machine, and then that's what happens in between.
Okay, yeah. So wait, say something again. I think I know what the echo is now.
Yeah, she definitely picked his pocket.
Okay, I got it. I think I fixed the echo.
Awesome.
Or I think I did, whatever. But yeah, she picks his pocket, and then she gives him the Compound V. So now Huey's dad, because like the Compound V stuff is, you might survive it, right? There's no guarantee you're going to survive it.
There's no guarantee you survive it, and the older in life you get it, the more difficult the chances of surviving it are.
Okay, yeah. So no guarantee, but Huey's dad survives it. So this is going to change, kind of everything. They do need another soup because they're so outnumbered at this point. So let me just see. Yeah, we see his eyes turn blue, and then the episode ends with Homelander laughing maniacally. Basically, what happened was he killed everyone at the facility and then just locked Barb in the cell so she can watch. And holy shit, quite the ending. So yeah, thoughts on that? Appreciate it, Beats with Kev, for keeping us posted and actually letting us know when the audio's fucked up, because we've done some streams in the past and we just have no idea how bad it is until after, and it's so depressing when I listen to it. I'm just like, fuck. So thanks for keeping us posted on that. But yeah, we got it fixed. But yeah, Damon, thoughts on all of that?
Homelander does not like the fact that he's been programmed to having feelings. Remember, when you're a kid, your brain is at its most, the plasticity is the highest. Like, it can be more moldable in terms of psychology, all that jazz. It's like the video essays or the things people that pop up on the internet where it shows you a tiger that's been kept in a cage from years 0 to 5, and then even when the tiger's left out of the cage, it remains like in a small area and is programmed like that. So the fact that he's been tricked into having feelings, because that was the only way they were going to be able to control him. So he doesn't like control, not out of his hands, and he doesn't like the fact that he's indebted to anybody or feels like he has to do something for anybody. You can see the hatred in his eyes when she mentions that he wanted to have their approval, and that's why he didn't cause much of a ruckus, which is in turn, why he puts her in that room, kills all those bodies, leaves her there. When he's got the blood on his face, when she's like not screaming, but when she looks like, oh my God, like what the hell's going on? That's when we get the Shining vibes, the slasher film vibes again. This was one of a kind. If Anthony Starr doesn't win something for this episode in particular, I have no faith in any kind of award system anymore. This was, for a superhero, supervillain movie, this is Heath Ledger